Okay guys, I'm here in the first part of this review, and this is an original photograph, which I believe, I'm not 100% certain, but I just by looking the way that the people are dressed in the photograph is not from the 1950s. If you look at the clothing they have on, this is more like the 40s. And to me, this looks like there's a high chance this might be a original photograph from 1948 when Ruby Chow's restaurant opened. If you look closely right there, there's Ping Chow in the suit, and there's some boys doing acrobatics, a headstand. They appear to be Chinese, and the rest are Caucasian people. If you look at the clothing, they tend to be like 1940s. So I'm assuming this photo is probably the grand opening of the restaurant. Ruby Chow's was an Italian restaurant prior to it being Ruby Chow's in 1948. And there's the neon sign right there that was to the front left end of the restaurant, and they're almost like on a little hill right there. See the little grass hill? Ruby Chow's is on like a little type of little hill. And the cool thing about this original photo is the back of it is signed by Judge Mark Chow. Ruby Chow's I believe he's the youngest son of the Chow siblings. So at this time period, Bruce Lee was not working at the restaurant just yet. So that's the first photo in the video that I'm going to go over right now, and I'm going to move on to the second photograph. Okay, you guys, I'm on the second part of the review, and this is the second photograph. And this photo is from January 1963. And you can see Ping Chow right there. This is during the Chinese New Year. And they are at the Zhonghua Benevolent Association. And there's Mark Chow right there, Judge Mark Chow as a kid. He's a person that signed the back of the prior photograph. He's now the judge of King County in Seattle. And here's the back of the photo. This was actually a newspaper press photo. If you see what's right here, it says stamped copyright Seattle Times Company. And it's dated January 20th, 1963. And Bruce Lee still lived at Ruby Chow's when this photograph was taken. And as you notice, a lot of the press photographs have newspaper ads that were cut out and put on the back that give you info on the photograph, which makes it a press photo. So I'm going to read this out for you guys from left. Mrs. Chick Chan, Henry, I cannot read the middle part of his name, Henry K. W. Chin, Ping Chow, Miss Winfred Chin, Candace Chin, Cookie Chin, Cindy Chin, and Mark Chow. And it says they depicted family preparation for Chinese New Year by John J. Redden. Festooned with its new red lanterns, Chinatown is rolling out its flossiest welcome mat and inviting all of Seattle to its Chinese New Year party. It is the year of the hare. I can't read the rest. 4661, I'm not sure what that is. Rather than 1963, according to the Chinese lunar calendar, and beginning Friday, the Chinese community intends to bring in New Year with a bang. Strings of firecrackers, including a 10,000 shot Mandarin, will snap, crackle, and pop throughout the 4-day celebration. And for the first time in the city's history, The various Chinese tongs and family associations have consented to open their sacred, hand-carved sandal wooden shrines to the public. Guided tours through the Hip Sing and Bing Kung tongs and Oak Tin Association will be conducted Saturday and Sunday. The Chinatown celebration will begin with a colorful Lion Street dance and shooting off firecrackers at 6:15 o'clock Friday evening. A stage show of tableaux depicting a Chinese family's 14-day preparation for the new year will be open to the public in the Zhonghua Benevolent Association Hall at 522 7th Avenue South. Performances will be at 6, 7, and 8 o'clock Friday evening. Tea and cookies will be served. Okay, so now the Zhonghua Benevolent Association is it's an association or organization that was that still is in Seattle, that helps the Taiwanese and Chinese communities. It's primarily Taiwanese, but I mean Taiwanese people are in a sense Chinese. And Bruce Lee has done demonstrations, Kung Fu demonstrations at the Zhonghua Benevolence Association. He actually did one in October of 1963, in the same year that this photo was taken, but later in the year. Okay, so now continuing to the newspaper article. A fireworks spectacular featuring a 25-foot dragon set piece will be presented at the playground behind the Zhonghua Hall at 9 o'clock Friday night. Saturday's program includes a noodle eating contest, continuous performances of Chinese films in the Zhonghua Hall throughout the afternoon and evening, with tea and cookies served at intermissions. Now, Bruce Lee did a demonstration in the Zhonghua Hall on the stage. There's a photograph of that actually I had uncovered the information regarding that performance and the date in the actual day. That's in my videos. You guys can look that up in my YouTube videos. Okay, so going forward, groups will form at the Zhonghua Hall for guided tours of Tong and Family Association shrines Saturday from 2 to 5 o'clock and from 7 to 9 o'clock. On Sunday, the guided tours will be from 2 to 7 o'clock. The celebration will close with a lion dance at 7 o'clock Monday evening, followed by a firecracker wind up, at which the 10,000 shot Mandarin string will be ignited to close the celebration. Now, the Mandarin string is like when you hear firecrackers and then they all go off in a big string, that's called the Mandarin string. You hear firecrackers in a continuous pop, like several of them. It's a common thing in New Year. It would take about 3 minutes to shoot off the Mandarin, and Benjamin Wu, president of the Chinese Community Service Organization, which is sponsored the 4-day celebration, but it should be an interesting 3 minutes. Ben Wu, we might explain, is a savvy young architect of his Young Turks and the community-minded second and third generation Chinese Americans who are making such an impact on Chinatown, proud of their Chinese heritage. I'm going to go ahead and end this right here with this photograph, because there's a lot to read and it's going to take up a lot of video space. But that is the photo. This is an unpublished photograph. I know, you're not really seeing Bruce Lee, but this all links to Bruce Lee, this information here, especially the ones before he moved out of the restaurant. So I'm going to go move on to the next photograph. And let's get it over here. Here it is right here. I had some of this leftover red matting from my Ruby Chow's Bruce Lee envelope that I own. The one right there. So I thought I would use it for these photographs. Okay, so there's a photo right here. There's Ping Chow, and you can see the Chinese like dividers in the back. So this is actually in the Ruby Chow's restaurant. And on the back right here, it just says who the people are from left to right. Charles Hua, Vice President. Ping Chow, President. Ling Mar, Chinese Secretary. And they are all members of the Zhonghua Benevolent Association. And this was dated January 3rd, 1964. Bruce Lee had already moved out about 3 months prior to this photo being taken. So there's another photograph. And those that don't know, Ping Chow is Ruby Chow's husband. He's the one that got the restaurant for her in the Victorian mansion. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to the next photo. And this one right here is Ping Chow, and this is an early 1964 photo, I believe February. And then if you look in the back, you see the Chinese dividers back here. This is in the Ruby Chow's restaurant, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. If you look at the postcard right there, if you see the Chinese dividers at the way in the back, that's where Ping is standing against those. See those way, I'm gonna point at them right there in the back. See those? Those are the dividers behind Ping right there. So he's actually in the restaurant in this photo. And this photo was from February 19th, 1964. And Bruce had already moved out about 4 months when this photo was taken. So yeah, these are original photos. They're not printed out. They're the original negative photos from these years. And that's it for this little video review. I wish I had more photos like this that were related to Bruce, but this is what I have for now. So thank you guys all for watching.